Hey there, I'm Ken. This is Canadian Retro Things. It's time to go to CoCoFest. That's right, it's a wonderful time of year. It is time to head to Chicago and go to CoCoFest. I'm going to be jumping on a plane early in the morning, flying to Saskatoon, getting into the car with L. Curtis Boyle, and then driving about 20 hours to get to Chicago. Now, when I'm there, we're going to take a little side trip, and that is going to be the subject of some upcoming videos, but more on that later. Right now, let's head to Saskatoon and see how that first leg of the trip goes. Alright, so I'm in the Saskatoon airport. I was up at about 5 this morning and hopped an airplane. I'm now waiting for L. Curtis Boyle to pick me up. Then I am off to Chicago, about a 20-ish hour drive. And unless something exciting happens on that drive, other than, of course, 20-ish hours of talking about Nitrous 9, I'll see you in Chicago. Fortunately, the trip for once was completely uneventful. I, of course, left all of my filming to the last minute as I was having way too much fun talking to people, both people that I've met before and first-time attendees of the fest. As for attendance, since the show is free, there's no exact numbers, but I would say more people were there this year than other years I've attended. And don't worry, the tradition of the fire department showing up was kept. On Thursday night, the hotel was evacuated as one of the exterior lights started on fire. I had nothing to do with it. I was at the VCF warehouse picking up stuff for the show when it happened. Apparently, it was a bird's nest. As for the show, there was a lot of stuff available for purchase. I wish I could have bought one of everything. So, sit back, relax, and see what you missed. I mean, what you can expect to see if you come next year. And what would a CoCoFest be without games to try out? There were new and old games to try. There was even a version of the light gun interface that works with the Sega light gun. Yes, the Coco does have a couple of games that work with the light gun. Hopefully, with new hardware, someone will make more. There was even a visit from across the ocean, the Alice computer. This is the French version of the TRS-80 MC-10. I wonder if it's faster because it's red. There were also people there working on both hardware and software projects. There were cameras recording, so I encourage you to watch all the videos that people did for the show, as I'm sure I missed some stuff. There were even some nice areas to go and relax outside of the show floor. All in all, this is a very nice venue. This year was big enough that we even had to have a secondary room. This room had a couple of exhibits, as well as the Coco Nation Game On Challenge table. As it was May the 4th, we played Return of the Jedi. Forgotten Machines had a very large display, 2 tables worth. One of the tables was located in the hallway and had 3 Coco ones for people to try out. He also had a table in the main room with plenty to look at. Porta Coco was also back this year with their battery-powered, complete with monitor portable Coco system. This year, they even had an addition to the family, a Porta MC-10. And the thing that got most of us hardcore coconuts excited was the display of Brian Weisler. He had on display things that he got from Robert G. Kilgus. You may recognize that name as one of the original developers for programs on the Coco. The most exciting thing was this, the unreleased Deluxe Coco. Brian and L. Curtis Boyle did a presentation on this. It's available on the Glenside YouTube channel. A link to that channel is in the description. Another part of the display was this pre-production Coco 1 that would have been used to develop the programs available at the time of release. Brian also had a number of original documents, correspondences, and examples of all of Robert's games and programs released on the Coco. Another thing that I did just before CoCoFest was I drove out and met Robert Kilgus for an interview. It's a fascinating watch and will be released in a few parts over the next couple of weeks. It covers his time working with mainframes in the 60s through to his work on the Model 1, Coco, and beyond. It is well worth watching for a look at how some of the stuff you may have grown up playing came into existence. CoCoFest was over and it was a long rainy drive back to Saskatoon where I caught a flight home. Because I was flying, I didn't pick up much, and what I did get, I left in Saskatoon to be picked up in a few weeks on my way to the cabin. I hope you enjoyed this look at CoCoFest 2024. If you did, don't forget that a like, a subscribe, and a comment below are all things that help the channel out greatly and are really appreciated. Don't forget to check out that Robert Kilgus interview coming soon. See you later.